Good evening. My name is Jim Fromey. Nobody pronounces it right, so don't feel bad. It helps with the telemarkers. No, Jim Fromm is not here. I'm here to introduce Archie Black this evening. I've had a pleasure working with him for 23 years, and I am honored to be the person standing up here and doing this tonight. I haven't been to one of these things before. I did research what the criteria was, but I don't know much about the process getting in. The Hall of Fames I guess I'm most familiar with would be like the NFL, NBA, NHL, where the process seems to be the superstars, the real superstars, always get, like a Michael Jordan or a Wayne Gretzky, Tom Brady, I assume here in a couple years, get in on a unanimous first ballot. And then the, really good superstars who are Hall of Famers get in on that second and third ballot. Archie has the numbers, the results, the performance to get in on the first ballot. Since taking over a company 22 years ago that was basically worthless, honest, it probably was a minus valuation, in a market that most of the experts actually thought was dying, he was able in the first quarter to start growing the business, and it's grown 89 consecutive quarters since then, and the streak continues. Doesn't happen very often. A little bit more perspective, there has only been one software company in the history of Minnesota, Ceridian, that has had a higher valuation. SPS is now the 19th most valuable public company in Minnesota. And if you look at the top 20 list, it is impressive. There is some really impressive names in there, but a lot of them had a 50, 75, 100-year start. So to get in that elite club in 20 years is a remarkable achievement. And probably most importantly, the number one goal of a CEO is to drive shareholder value. Whether you like it or not, that is their job. Since we went public, if you put $1 in SPS Commerce and $1 in every other publicly Minnesota traded company, you would have more money with that dollar in SPS than anything else. It's number one in the thing that Archie is most responsible for. Those are amazing compliments. In my opinion, that's first ballot stuff. But the criteria obviously includes a much broader list of considerations, contributions both within the broader business community and beyond. And on these, I think the story is even better. Archie does things the right way and always leads by example. Family and a balanced life has always been important, and he created a company and a culture where the employees do have a balanced life. Yeah, there's a lot of work and that kind of thing, but I can honestly say I've been home almost every night for dinner and had every weekend at home. He doesn't back down from the hard decisions that need to be made. That's very tough, especially that involve people. But he never forgets that there are human beings behind those decisions and does them the best the way it can be done. That's a hard thing to do. For 23 years, I have never had to question his motives, wonder if we are being ethical, which I guess is not always the case for most employees. But thinking about those things has never had to cross my mind. It allowed me and the others in the company to be more productive. It also means that we're probably the most naive employee base out there. So if you're trying to poach any of our people, just a warning, we're really good, we have a lot of talent, but don't be surprised that they're naive on these kinds of things because it's just not a thing. A leader needs people to follow him. I remember getting the news shortly after he got a call that we got the funding to keep SPS alive. We were actually putting gas in his car at the gas station. He gave me a high five and he said, "This will be the last job we ever have." Given the dumpster fire the company was in at that time, the fact I actually believed him, I think shows you the kind of leader that he is. And both of us have announced our retirement in the past few months, so the most amazing thing is that actually came true. In addition to obviously being on the board of SPS, he's on the board of Graco, Proto Labs, Entree Bank. Maybe there's more I don't even know about. Outside of business, he and his wife have a passion for education, donate a ton of their time and the actions behind it to prove it. They include being a member of the St. Thomas Board, the Minnesota Partnership, including being the chair of the Education Committee, involvement in the Minnesota Business for Early Learning, Northside Achievement Zone, Bar Center, Great Minnesota Schools, AIM Higher Foundation, Crystal Ray, Doherty Family College, Genesis Works. Tonight, his wife couldn't make it because she had a commitment for the Hunt Institute. And I know there are way more things on that list that he is currently doing and he has done in the past that he has stepped down from, but hopefully you get the idea. Most importantly, he's just a good, humble man. Despite all the success, he lives in the same house he lived in 30 years ago. He has the same wife he had 30 years ago. And he's the same guy I met 23 years ago. I'm blessed to have him in my life. And on behalf of my wife, Michelle, here in the lavender, at table 4, we want to thank you for everything you've done for us, our family, and so many others. And of course, congratulations on being inducted, I assume, on the first ballot to the Minnesota Hall of Fame.
Well, thank you for all those kind words, Jim. You truly have been the definition of a great partner for the last 23 years. You know, Jim is somebody that has always put SPS Commerce and others first, always. You know, and that is purple your wife is wearing. Get a stand? Who thinks that's purple? Michelle, can you just stand? I mean, we gotta. Jim's a Packer fan, so he doesn't want to acknowledge that's purple, but who says it's purple? Come on. So a few years back, Jim and I were sitting in my office reminiscing about the past 20 years. And I asked Jim, so Jim, we've been at this a long time. What would you do different? And I'm thinking, okay, Jim's gonna have we shouldn't have done this, we should have done this, we should have done this different. And Jim actually answered to me, nothing. I thought, come on, Jim, nothing? You would do nothing different? And he looked at me and he said, I like the way this has turned out, so why would I do anything different? I mean, it's a really good lesson for everybody that always wants to replay the past. If you're in a good spot, don't replay the past. We're in a good spot. All the hard lessons we learned, glad we had to go through those hard times because we learned a ton. So first off, I'm truly honored and humbled to be here tonight, looking at the past attendees, the current attendees, you know, just really honored all of you here. My good friend Charlie Weaver is here. Now I'm glad I'm not following Charlie because Charlie's gonna be funny or do something crazy. My God, what are you gonna do, Charlie? So I haven't had a lot of hardships in my life, but I do have a ton of people to thank. First, I need to thank, she's not here tonight, but my wife of 37 years. Jane has always been a true partner of mine in life, a great supporter. She is not able to be here tonight, as Jim had said. She is leading a team with the Hunt Literacy team, and they're down in North Carolina today. Just if any of you know, we as a state have 32% of our students read at grade level. So I know her and her team are gonna do great work, and so I appreciate, Jane, everything you do for the community. To my boys, I have 4 sons, they just make life so fun and so rewarding. And they put up with all of my craziness. I don't know how you do it, but you've done it for a long time. Maybe that's because they don't have a choice to leave or something, I don't know, but I'm proud of each and every one of you, so thank you. To my big sisters who are here, you've been, great role models for the family and for everybody around you, and they taught me resiliency as in my youth. I won't give you all the stories on why that is the case. To my nieces and nephews who are all here tonight, I appreciate the support. Shout out to you. And this is, well, no, not yet. Of course, I need to thank my parents. My parents are not here tonight. They're here in spirit, but they did so much for me. So thank you, Mom and Dad. I know you're looking down on us. And I'm going to do a shameless plug for a board I am on. So a special shout out to my friends at Entree Bank, table 16. Just want to let you know, they are taking deposits and loans tonight. So they have forms. So table 16 right in the middle there. So thank you all for coming. So a few years back, somebody was asking me, what would you tell your younger self? And I thought about that because, sometimes you can get advice, but some things you just have to go through yourself. And so if you had known certain things, frankly, I think, Jim, if we had known how hard the first few years are, I don't know if we would have done it. We were stupid, we were naive, we just didn't know what was ahead, and so we did what we did because we didn't know better. But the one thing I would tell my younger self is to surround yourself with great, positive people. And second is just to enjoy every single day of the journey. And I have to tell you, I feel like I am blessed that I've been able to do that with all the great people, positive people in my life has made such a huge difference. So for me, it's been an incredible honor. I've been able to lead the SPS Commerce team for the last 23 years. And as Jim said, I'm super proud of the numbers and everything we've done, but I think we've done it the right way. We've got great people. They're completely involved in the community. I think they show up well, and I'm proud of each and every one of them. And then I have a final thank you to the executive team of SPS Commerce. Thank you for everything you've done. You've made my job so much fun and relatively easy. Not completely easy, but relatively easy. And so I've really enjoyed working with each and every one of you. And on closing, I just want to say thank you to the executive team for what I know you're going to do with SPS Commerce. And when we come back in 5 years, it's going to be an even better company than it is today. So thank you very much in advance for doing that. So thank you.